takeoff from South Sudan. The government of the Republic of South Sudan has said that it has not received any official communication from the government of Sudan regarding the alleged intention to shut down South Sudan's oil from being exported through Sudan. Minister of Information and Broadcasting said South Sudan's Council of Ministers will continue with discussions until today, Monday. In South Sudan, Sudan's negotiating team has announced it will be heading to Addis Ababa, capital of Ethiopia, to submit the country's position to the African Union team of experts on borders, as well as to discuss themes of reference for the resolution of the disputed and claimed areas. Lesotho, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, has contributed 90 tons of food worth an estimation of $1.7 million to the United Nations World Food Programme (WFP) for distribution to people affected by drought, floods, and crop failure in Lesotho. The commodities include white beans, white flour, corn flour, vegetable oil, milk powder, and sugar. Lesotho chieftainess Mantali was a true Christian who contributed in developing people's lives and the country. His Majesty King Letsi III said this when addressing mourners at a funeral service of the late chieftainess Mantali for her engagement towards the development of her community and country. Kenya President Uhuru Kenyatta has urged leaders countrywide to focus on improving the lives of Kenyans instead of engaging in endless political supremacy wars. Saying the elections are over, President Kenyatta said politicians should exercise mature politics and desist from abusing their rivals. In Equatorial Guinea, the official webpage reads, "Inauguration of the new headquarters of Noble Energy." As part of the events planned to mark June 5th, the birthday of His Excellency Obiangwema Mbazogo, the President of the Republic inaugurated a building that will house the offices of the oil company Noble Energy, located in Malabo 2. In Ghana, President John Dramani Mahama on Thursday announced that government would engage fire experts from the United States of America to ascertain the real causes of fire outbreaks in major markets in the country. He said much as no evidence has proved that the fire outbreaks were orchestrated, the speed and timing of the outbreaks had gone beyond the ordinary and therefore needed additional support to get to the root cause of the fires. Kenya. President Uhuru Kenyatta has ordered stern action to be taken against illicit drug traffickers, saying foreigners suspected to have engaged in the vice should be deported from the country. President Kenyatta particularly emphasized that all persons who sell alcohol and drugs to the youths must be apprehended and punished. President Uhuru Kenyatta has reaffirmed his commitment to ensuring that the East African community succeeds in its regional integration efforts. Speaking yesterday at State House, Nairobi, during a meeting with members of the Kenya chapter of the East African Legislative Assembly, known by its acronym EALA, who paid him a courtesy call. To Lesotho, where the Deputy Prime Minister and also the Minister of Local Government and Chieftainship Affairs, Motenjoa Medicine, says the ministry is on the process of formulating a decentralization policy. Medicine was addressing development partners and international donors at a meeting held at the minister's boardroom on Monday. In Zambia, former President Rupia Banda has been granted leave to commence contempt proceedings against immigration officials who blocked him from traveling to South Africa to attend a conference on Friday last week. Ghana, Deputy Minister for Information and Media Relations Ibrahim Motala yesterday said Cabinet had approved the Anti-Terrorism Amendment Act and forwarded it to Parliament for subsequent approval. He explained that this was necessitated by the fact that government could not currently punish or freeze the property of individuals or groups engaged in the practice without first referring to the United Nations Security Council laws. Lesotho, the Land Administration Authority (LAA) Public Outreach Advisor Tankiso Sefoso has strongly warned Basotho against forged land leases. According to According to Sefoso, the LAA has been aware of fraudulent land leases since March this year after being tipped off by police. Ghana, the Minister of Information and Media Relations, Mahama Ayarige, has revealed that government would collaborate with the Australian High Commission towards the development of Ghana. Ayarige said Australia has considerable expertise in mining, and Ghana looks forward to the transfer of technology to the benefit of the country. In Ghana, French ambassador to Ghana, Frédéric Clavier, has said that the French government was initiating a project to support mechanisms aimed at ensuring accountability in the central and local administrative sectors of Ghana. This, the ambassador said, would help to deepen democratic governance and transparency in Ghana. The official webpage reveals that Justice Minister Winter Kabimba has taken a sweep at leaders of the UPND and the MMD for engaging international lawyer Robert Amsterdam to allegedly malign President Michael Sata. Kabimba said Amsterdam is a hired mercenary who is now championing the anti-removal of subsidy campaign and corruption allegations after introducing himself as lawyer for Rupia Banda and his son Henry. In Zambia again, Father Frank Bwalwa says Zambia has a dictator in State House by the name of Michael Sata, who is ready to kill to remain in office. Father Bwalwa, leader of the newly formed Alliance for a Better Zambia, has disclosed that President Sata has assigned state agents to intercept his telephone conversations, whose information is being passed on to cadres to track him down for possible harm. South Sudan's President General Salva Kiir Mayardit has challenged Sudan to provide evidence of the continuous allegations that South Sudan is supporting rebels fighting to topple the government of Sudan. President Kiir said South Sudan has more serious demands to attend to other than to support rebels in a foreign country. South Sudan President Salva Kiir Mayardit has called on leaders of Abyei in Juba and Ebe were to head to the oil-rich region to spearhead the return of the people of Abyei ahead of the much-expected October referendum. He said it is important for all the people of Abyei to return to the area and get registered to vote in the referendum. The Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Local Government and Chairmanship Affairs says more campaigns must be introduced to disseminate information about HIV/AIDS as a fight against the pandemic is not yet over. Motejua Medicine said this during the official opening of Baylor College of Medicine. In Lesotho, the recent 5th Tokyo International Conference on African Development Ticket 5 has triggered high aspirations for the government of Lesotho to improve the livelihoods of Basotho. The conference ended with Japan's high level of commitment to support Africa in wide areas of development. Moving over to the Republic of Kenya, President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday assured international investors that his government was committed to creating an enabling environment for them to do business in the country. Speaking during a meeting with a Turkish delegation that paid him a courtesy call at State House Nairobi, President Kenyatta said his government valued investors as partners in development. Still in Kenya, under the chairmanship of President Uhuru Kenyatta, the cabinet 2 days ago met at State House Nairobi and approved a number of bills and legal notices. The cabinet approved the Finance Bill 2013, under which the VAT Act appeal and the CMA Amendment Bill were approved. In South Sudan, South Sudan's chief negotiator and Secretary General of the Sudan People's Liberation Movement, SPLM, Code Pagan Amum, in Addis Ababa held talks with the African Union Peace and Security Commissioner Ambassador Ramtane Lamamra. The two sides reviewed the status of implementation of the agreement, which were concluded in September 2012 between the Republic of South Sudan and Sudan. Zambia, The official webpage reveals that about $4 million has been stolen from different commercial banks' ATM withdrawals through criminals who have recruited and trained Zambians in cybercrime. This was made public by Police Deputy Inspector General Solomon Jere.